We're live. It says I'm live. It doesn't look like it. Well, it's been a while since I did a video, and I thought that working for the federal government would be a good thing, but sadly, it's turning out to be very unprofessional, in my opinion. I had a work-related injury, and you have 30 days to file it with your employer, with the workman's comp person at your employer. I don't know if that's every employer. I believe that's every employer. I don't think that's just true for those that are working for the federal government. I think that's every employer. You have 30 days to report it. And I waited 9 days to report it. And my supervisor was not even around when the injury happened outside. She was on some type of family medical leave or something out of this. She wasn't available. And, you know, when you work as an enumerator for the census, it's pretty much the worst job you can have. They don't care what kind of background you have. They don't care. And I was supposed to start this in March. So we didn't start this until August, in the middle of the heat. So, you know, you're really going to have a really good employer that's on your side to help you fill out the forms. There's an OSHA 301 form that you need to fill out. That's pretty straightforward. There's if you're in California, there's a CA1 you need to fill out. That's pretty straightforward. But the CA7 and the CA7A are a little tricky. And I don't have a lawyer here to tell me how to fill it out. The CA7A was more tricky than the CA7, because the CA7A is the ones where they ask you, how many hours have you claimed? What does that mean? Does that mean how many hours did I work that last week that I worked? Or does that mean how many hours did I miss because I'm not able to work? And with this job, they're like, it just seems like they're doing something illegal and they're getting away with it. And I don't understand it. But I do have an HR rep in workman's comp, but I don't have her number. I have a number, but it's not Stephanie Spite's number. It's not her number. So, you know, you just leave a message, and then about 5 days later, 6 days later, 7 days later, somebody gets back to you. I think that's insane. But I guess that's the way it happens when you work for the federal government. You just leave a message, and 7 days later, while you have an injury, somebody gets back to you. That's exactly what happened. I told them on the 31st or the 30th, and then someone got back to me on September 4th and told me what website I need to go to file this thing. And apparently, the U.S. Census has a lot of injuries. I wouldn't doubt it if they're telling you to go into driveways and telling you to, you know, go up to driveways, and you don't know if there's a dog back there. There's probably a lot of dog bites. You know, I just, I was told from somebody, I wish I knew who, but somebody told me, you're supposed to be allowed to work. If your doctor says light duty, then your employer is supposed to find you another job that you can do. It's like law that your employer is supposed to find you a job that you can do. And for me, I have to be on crutches pretty much if I'm walking all the time. So that means I can't be walking. I mean, that means I can't do a job walking because I need to be on crutches. So what does that mean? That means I have to sit down and do office work. and they didn't, the census didn't even do that. And unfortunately, on the 4th of September, like I said, my boss was not around, so I could not call her. I had to call the substitute boss. She didn't even know who my boss was. She was like, "Who's Elizabeth?" And I said, "It's my boss." And I go, "You don't know who Elizabeth is?" She's like, "No." I go, "Well, she's the one that gave me your number, because you're the substitute boss. When Elizabeth is not available, you're it." She didn't even know who Elizabeth was. See, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, and this is the federal government. I went ahead and I called my boss's boss, and he's the one that let me go. James Trudeau, I believe his name is. He's the one that let me go. He didn't say, "Well, let's wait until what the doctor says, and if he says you need to do light desk work, then we'll find you something." No, my job completely ended. So I have to sit, and I can do standing for 5 minutes out of the hour. You know how quickly 5 minutes goes by? Pretty darn quick. And I don't like sitting all day. I had a standing desk for a long time here at home, for a greater part of 8 months or so. In 2008 and 2019, I made a standing desk. I made something high enough for this laptop to be somewhere around this area, 4 feet tall, so I can stand and do my work. It's better for your back, standing. And so now I'm just limited to sitting all day, which is very bad for your back. So I was just told from Louis T. He's with, I guess he's the claim examiner. He said, "Your employer is supposed to be helping you with these forms online. You're not going to be able to do that without your employer's help." And I said, "Well, guess what? The U.S. Census, they're not helping me at all. They're not." So I contacted Stephanie, called, left a message, and they said, "Do not leave multiple messages. If you do, it's just going to delay your time." Well, it's probably going to be 4 or 5 days before I hear back from somebody. I emailed Stephanie and I said, "Look, I need help filling out these forms, especially the CA7A, because that's the one that asks you about how many hours you claimed." I don't know what that means. It's not plain English. Now, if it said, "How many hours did you work your last week? How many hours did you miss during that last week you work?" I was supposed to work 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more hours. I was supposed to work 10 more hours that last week. And I didn't, because I was pulled off the job. And the subsequent weeks, I was supposed to work anywhere from 25 to 30 hours a week. So I missed like 3 weeks of work. And, I just think it's weird that the census is just kind of taking a back seat and they're not really doing anything. It's like, from the inside, I hate to say this, but from an insider, it's like the do nothing government. And I thought it would be a really good idea for me to work for the federal government, because I have an MBA. I have a master's in business administration. So I thought, well, it'll be a good experience. But from the inside, you don't want to get hurt on the job. You don't want to get hurt on the job if you're working for the federal government. I don't know if it's the same for state government. I don't know if it's the same for county government or for city government. But this is just really sad that, I was told that I likely will not even. I was told from 2 people, actually 2 different things. I was told my claim may not even be approved until mid-October. And then somebody else said I might start to get paid by late October. But all my paperwork is in. I know I scan it in every single note that I get. I scan it in. So, it clearly says stand 5 minutes each hour. For 1 hour, I can stand 5 minutes. For each hour, I can walk 5 minutes. But any more than that, I'll just re-injure the knee. So, yeah. It's really sad. It's really sad. And I would encourage you, if you have some money, get a lawyer. I don't know what else to tell you, but this is my reality, and I don't know. It's just really bad all the way around. I gotta go.